Good evening, everyone. This is the Sports Block, broadcasting live from Ruckus Pizza for the Middle Creek Coaches Show. Middle Creek is coming off a 23-21 win this past Friday over Panther Creek. The Mustangs kicked a field goal as time expired. That moves our record to 5-2, 3-0 in the conference. We are now joined by head coach Mike Castellano. Coach, that was a crazy game.
Yeah, somebody said afterwards, did you do anything exciting on Friday? And I said, yeah, we played a game where we took a couple chances and had an exciting game. Coach Trump brought in a bottle of Pepto on Friday because he kind of knew the game plan. He said, I assume you're going to need this tonight. So it was exciting. We're glad to get the win.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and jump into some highlights and check it out.
All right, the first highlight we're going to have here is the 8th play of the game. It's a 4th-and-1 situation. They were pretty creative on the sidelines. When they had the football, they never extended the chains 10 yards. They only extended it 8 yards, so sometimes they got first downs without measuring. When we had the ball, they extended them 10. But in this play, we call an inside blitz. We'd seen on film kind of what they run on 4th down. They ran the same play we expected. We got some penetration in the backfield, and right there, our speaker in a little while, King Kiaku, comes up with a fumble recovery that Brendan Weinberg created. Everybody gave T. White a hard time about tackling King. He didn't tackle King. He was blocking or attempting to block the only guy that was going to catch King, and King's got to kind of bend that thing back to the sideline. But it was a big turnover, a lot of momentum on our behalf. Now, for those of you who think I'm crazy, you might be right. But if you look right here, this is the second onside kick. They put offensive linemen up front. If you look, the middle guy is 5 yards back, and they all run back on the snap. And you see we recover it pretty easy right there with 3 guys to football first. So, we get a turnover first drive. Should have recovered the first onside kick. We get that one. So I get turnover. We score. Then we get the onside kick, and we wanted to maximize as many offensive reps as we could. This play right here is a completion of Rasheem. Coach Bordeaux calls a formation they haven't really shown, checks to see what they line up in, gets the play that he wants out of it, checks it here. You'll see the running back switch sides, and he sets up a screen to Rasheem Eaton down here. And you can watch the right tackle and some of the other guys work downfield to make the blocks happen, and obviously the running back's working downfield doing a great job. So that's a big play in the game as well. If I'm correct, I believe that was a 3rd down completion to move the chains. If you were at the game, this was kind of a dull moment. We'd had one kick, and then this was the second one with 1.8 seconds to go. We get a good snap, good hold, good protection, and Rubino drills that one down the middle. And luckily we got a win and got to leave with a W. So those are a couple of the highlights of the game. There was a lot of them.
So we were kind of talking a little bit beforehand about, from a coach's perspective, the strategy of icing a kicker and how it backfires sometime. And it wasn't kind of unclear whether the first one missed or not because it was blown dead. But what is your thoughts? What are your perspective on that type of strategy?
Well, every game has a different flow to it. They had 2 timeouts left. I was actually more surprised they didn't call a second one after that. Obviously, Coach Wilkes is our special teams coordinator, and we have a day, the last either Friday or Saturday before we start the year, we go through a checklist day, going through every scenario possible. And one of our scenarios is if somebody calls a timeout, snap it, hold it, kick it, get an opportunity to line it up, see where it's at. The dynamics of that play, for example, we asked Rubino, where do you want the football? He said, I want it in the middle of the field today. Okay, we call a play to put in the middle of the field, and Josh Drake sees a hole and cuts all the way backside to the left hash. Not maybe where Rubino kicks the best from, but, that's part of it. Now with the timeout, I saw a video somebody sent me today from high school OT, and you can pause it, and maybe I'm blind, but that ball's inside the goalpost the first time, which some of our coaches, Coach Williams and Coach Dunstan up top, both thought it was also from the press box. But either way, you make that decision and something you do, and it depends on every game and every situation. We're on the road. And Rubino at that point, it can be a pressure situation, and he's on the road, the crowd's cheering. I understand what he was trying to do. Makes perfect sense.
Well, with Panther Creek coming back, you guys actually had a large lead in the first half. They battled back to actually get the lead, and then you see that first field goal go wide, or they call it wide. What's the conversation during that timeout before he goes out and kicks that second one?
It was a really in-depth conversation. Coach Wilkes was talking to the guys blocking. I said, Rubino. And he said, Coach, I got to start out just a tad bit more right. I said, we hit the darn kick so we get on the bus and get out of here already. And he went, yes, sir, I got it. I kind of laughed. So it was, not trying to make too much of the situation. At that point, you either hit it or you don't. We trust our guys to do it. We practice it every single day, and luckily he made the kick.
Well, we talked about these tough games earlier in the year. Do you think that in a game like this, you see some of the benefits of the team kind of keeping their cool, even with the team kind of coming back on the road?
Well, it's football. You're going to have different changes in momentum. In that game, there was a bunch of them. And, the things we always talk about is, so what, next play. Mm-hmm. Good, bad, or indifferent, you're only as good as your next play. And in that situation, they scored 3 times, and twice it was missed tackles where a guy standing there unblocked. And the third one, I put a guy in a position. We had a little injury, put a guy there, call a coverage, and it's right there. We just don't make the play, and then 8 more guys miss a tackle.
Right.
That was a third down situation. If we make that play, we're off the field, and we're not in that position. Also earlier, we had a field goal that got blocked where we didn't have real good protection. If you hit that one, you're up 2 scores with 5 minutes to go when you're not in that situation, right, too. So you can't go back. All you can do is either make the next play or have your best attempt to make the next play. And one of the things I would like to add is, and Coach Wilkes, correct me if I'm wrong, but we're up to 9 block kicks now. Okay, we blocked a field goal in that game, and we blocked a punt on that possession to give us good field position. So right, it's things we typically work on and try to accomplish.
Trying to stay on pace with the special teams.
Yep.
So it did seem like there were a few new wrinkles in the offense. I think you mentioned a formation, and then maybe some new plays too. So does the playbook kind of normally open up as the season goes on and you get to practice things more, or is that more strategical for that game?
Well, you do a little bit of both. As the year goes on, your playbook's obviously going to expand. You have the things that you have in the playbook, and the things you add every week is kind of wrinkles or add-ons. So that's pretty common on all sides of the ball, including special teams as well. So, that's something that you do as you go through the season.
And then you channeled your inner Sean Payton with 3 onside kicks and a fake punt. So there's no hesitation to really go after it on special teams if you guys see what you want lined up on the other side of the ball, right?
Well, Coach Wilkes says it all the time. We don't take chances. We look at the film and we calculate what the opportunities are to take advantage of. And as you looked at that second highlight, the way they lined up previously, Coach Wilkes had a great scheme on what we were trying to do and formation-wise, but him and I stood there and we looked at it and said, yeah, it's there, try it, and we think we're going to be successful. We don't, honestly, people might not believe this, but we don't just actually call things because we think, hey, this has a chance to work. We believe it's going to work based on what we see and what we did in practice.
It's not a gut thing.
No, we call what we think is going to be successful. And
right.
Coach Wilkes, he spends a lot of time with that. It takes a lot of pride. Hey, that third one, that was supposed to be a left kick. If you watch the play, they've slid everybody right. And if we get the ball a little more to the left, we should have recovered all 3 kicks.
Right. Well, Coach, thank you for your time. Guys, you are watching the Middle Creek Coaches Show, broadcasting live from Ruckus Pizza. We'll be right back.
All right.
Yep.
Ruckus. It's a good time. We've got live music 4 or 5 nights a week, and
my favorite is the food, though. Our menu is very varied. We have great hamburgers, great pizza, great pasta, great sandwiches, great salads. We're famous for our New York style pizza. It's a huge 24-inch pizza with just right amount of cheese and sauce. And
all right, enough about the big pizza. Seriously, I sometimes still get a little bit long-winded, and this is a perfect fit for taking care of that.
It's great pizza.
Welcome back to the Middle Creek Coaches Show. This is the Sports Block. live from Ruckus Pizza in Cary. We are now joined by offensive assistant Joey Calabria. Joey, apparently we ran out of linebacker coaches to interview, so now we got to move.
We got a linebacker later, so don't worry.
We'll hire another one so we can interview. So you are an offensive assistant. Can you just tell us a little bit about yourself and your coaching philosophy?
Yeah, I work primarily with the offensive line. I think two big important parts about coaching, whether it's offensive line, whether it's working for the defense, it doesn't really matter. Focusing on technique is utmost priority, especially within the scheme that you're trying to go for. As you get older, whether it's coming from Westlake, whether it's coming to JV, whether it's going varsity, college, pro, you start losing on the opportunities to be bigger, faster, and stronger than other guys, and the playing field starts leveling out. So you got to really focus on that technique and start working on that and improving on that every single week.
So Panther Creek is a sort of pretty similar team offensively. How do you think your guys executed in comparison to Panther Creek?
Well, I think we get a good opportunity each week to basically go against what we saw at Panther Creek that week. We look at it every single day in practice. Coach Crocker from Panther Creek, he was Middle Creek's head coach for several years. I think we had a good opportunity to get an idea of what we were up against, and Coach C and Coach Wilkes came up with some game plans that could help us take advantage of some things that they saw in film, and use that to our advantage, such as the onside kicks.
Right.
Well, you guys, we mentioned it earlier when we were talking to Castellano, but you guys obviously jumped on them early and then kind of slowed down after halftime. Was it anything that they were kind of doing on defense that was slowing you down, or can you, kind of speak on that?
I think they threw a couple different things at us that we maybe didn't necessarily see or work against, but, we got to make those in-game adjustments.
Right.
Whether it's, working on a certain technique or seeing a different front that we're looking at or a different coverage, we got to make those adjustments and move forward from there.
Right.
So it's on to Holly Springs this Friday. Is the playbook going to continue to expand and be tailored for Holly Springs?
Well, I think each week you look at the film and look at what adjustments do need to be made based on what you see from them. It could be little tweaks. It could be just little wrinkles of plays. So things are always on the, we're always changing and looking to take advantage of whatever we see on film.
Talking beginning of the season or before the season, offensive line was definitely a question mark. How do you think this unit has come together as a whole?
It's a work in progress. We right now the starters that we have right now, they weren't starters last year on the offensive line. There's some senior leadership there. Josh Hunter's here. He's taken over kind of a role on that, moving over to the other side of the ball and helping the team out. We have a freshman starting at one spot. Yeah. We have a sophomore. So it's a work in progress, but as our motto goes, go 1-0 at everything you do and strive to get better every single day.
Well, this team is first in conference, averaging over 30 points a game, or tied for first in conference. Do you think this offensive unit is where you guys want it to be?
I don't know if any coach will ever say it's where we want to be.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's just about getting better, and when we make mistakes, learning from them, making it better, so next time we go out, we execute and do what we're supposed to do.
All right. Well, thank you for your time, Coach.
Thanks for
Guys, once again, you're watching the Sports Broadcasting live from Ruckus Pizza. This is the Middle Creek Coaches Show. We'll be right back.
Ruckus. It's a good time. We've got live music 4 or 5 nights a week. And
My favorite's the food, though. Our menu is very varied. We have great hamburgers, great pizza, great pasta, great sandwiches, great salads. We're famous for our New York style pizza. It's a huge 24-inch pizza with just right amount of cheese and sauce. And
all right, enough about the big pizza. Seriously. I sometimes still get a little bit long-winded, and this is a perfect fit for taking care of that.
It's great pizza.
Welcome back to the Middle Creek Coaches Show. This is the Sports Block live from Ruckus Pizza in Cary. We are now joined by senior outside linebacker King Kiaku. King, thank you for joining us tonight, sir.
Thank you.
If you could just start off by telling everyone a little bit about yourself, both on and off the field.
All right. My name is King Kiaku. I'm an outside linebacker for Middle Creek High School. I was an all-conference selection last year, and that's about it.
Cool. So kind of give us, from a player's perspective, how you guys felt both, during that kick with 1.8 seconds left, and then afterwards, how you guys felt?
Well, having Rubino as a kicker, I knew that it would go in because we practice game time situations in practice every single day. So I knew it was going to go in. I have faith in him.
All right, with this group, we week in and week out, obviously, makes a lot of plays. Where do you think that ability comes from? Do you think it's in the coaching, in the technique that you're taught, or you think it comes from within?
It's definitely the coaching and trust. We trust each other to make big plays, and every time we make a big play, we all celebrate together.
Yeah.
So we just love celebrating together. That it builds up everybody, makes them feel better. So we love celebrating with each other.
So speaking of big plays, what do you think the biggest play you've made in your football career so far? Is there one that sticks out to you the most?
It's not. It would be Garner game, quarterback, the sack. It was a great play.
I seem to remember you blowing him up on that play, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, do you live for those big plays, or are you just happy to get on the field and contribute, play in and play out?
I love getting on the field, but I also love making big plays.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about your future plans after Middle Creek?
I plan on going to college, but I'm undecided on where, and I plan to play football in college also.
Cool.
At 5-2, number one in the conference, how do you feel this team looks so far? Feels?
They feel. Holly Springs is a good team. We look good. We can't take nobody for granted. So practice hard, do everything we can to win.
All right. Well, good luck on Friday, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Guys, once again, you are watching the Middle Creek Coaches Show, broadcasting live from Ruckus Pizza. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. Thank you. Good luck the rest of the way.
Ruckus. It's a good time. We've got live music 4 or 5 nights a week. And
My favorite's the food, though. Our menu is very varied. We have great hamburgers, great pizza, great pasta, great sandwiches, great salads. We're famous for our New York style pizza. It's a huge 24-inch pizza with just right amount of cheese and sauce. And
all right, enough about the big pizza. Seriously. I sometimes still get a little bit long-winded, and this is a perfect fit for taking care of that.
It's great pizza.
Welcome back to the Middle Creek Coaches Show. This is the Sports Block live from Ruckus Pizza in Cary. We are now joined by Westlake Middle School head football coach and athletic director Scott West. Scott, thank you, first of all, for joining us. That's probably the biggest crowd I think anyone's brought so
They're
far.
not here for us.
No?
Surprising.
Sorry to burst your bubble, yeah. Could you start off by telling everyone a little bit about yourself and what you do at Westlake?
Well, this is my third year coaching football at Westlake. I'm first year being the athletic director. I moved here from Pennsylvania 4 years ago. I came onto the Westlake staff. I'm very fortunate to be part of the Westlake. It's a great school. I really enjoy coaching and teaching there.
So can you talk about a little bit about the relationship that you guys have with Middle Creek? I mean, obviously the schools are right next to each other.
Right. Yeah. We're very fortunate at Westlake to have Coach Castellano and his staff being really involved over at Westlake. It's an opportunity for the kids to get to know them before they go over to Middle Creek. And, it helps them out as well, us preparing the kids for high school, kind of knowing what they're doing once they get over there. And as you know, we have a few players that are playing, or have pretty significant roles on the Middle Creek team this year. So one of the goals that we have as a coaching staff is to prepare them for high school, not only for football but also the responsibilities and discipline that they have off the field as well. So I think we have a pretty good relationship going. I'm really, like I said, fortunate and thankful to have Coach Castellano and his staff, being a part of Westlake.
Well, you obviously have a huge, part in this athletic program. Can you just, take us through a day in the life of a head coach and an athletic director?
I answer a lot of emails. Sometimes I look at my email, I'll check my email first thing in the morning, and 5 minutes later I'll have 5 more emails. So dealing with doing things with off school, with the other sports as well. Football, we start practice at 2:30. We're a year-round school, so we go 12 months a year. Practice usually runs 2 hours. Then I have some other responsibilities that I have to do, painting the field like I did tonight. So a little bit of everything.
Well, real quick, as a year-round school, what are the practice guidelines? Because I know you mentioned that you guys go all year.
We do start workouts in the summer, non-mandatory. This summer we had at least 40 guys at every workout, which was great for us, and it really helped prepare for this upcoming season, to see those kids and get them in shape. Once we get into the start of the season tryouts, it's a really quick turnaround from the first day of tryouts till our first game. So having that summer workouts really helps to prepare and get us ready for that first game.
Mm-hmm. So you talked a little bit about some kids that have come through the Westlake program and are now playing at Middle Creek. What percentage do you think of kids, and in particular football players, go from Westlake to Middle Creek?
To be honest, it changes year to year. My first couple of years here, we had kids going Southeast, Holly Springs, Garner, all over the place. And this year, last year, it seemed like more than 75% actually ended up over at Middle Creek. So I'm hoping more of the same this year, and I'm sure the coaching staff over at Middle Creek is hoping the same. So, it's just year to year here in Wake County.
Well, we talk with Coach Castellano and the other coaches about their the focus of their coaching philosophy when they go through their team. What are the differences in the middle school game as opposed to a high school environment?
To be honest, we have some kids who they're starting football for the first time in their lives as 7th and 8th graders. So really preparing them not only for football, teaching them the fundamentals, but also, like I said, preparing them for life. Football is a great sport, teaching discipline, teaching that things don't always go as planned, and being able to bounce back from those things. Our life goals that they can learn, through football. So,
all right. Well, Coach, thank you for your time. And once again, guys, you are watching the Middle Creek Coaches Show, broadcasting live from Ruckus Pizza. This is the Sports Block. We'll be right back.
It is a Ruckus. It's a good time. We've got live music 4 or 5 nights a week. And
my favorite's the food, though. Our menu is very varied. We have great hamburgers, great pizza, great pasta, great sandwiches, great salads. We're famous for our New York style pizza. It's a huge 24-inch pizza with just right on the cheese and sauce. And
all right, enough about the big pizza. Seriously, I sometimes still get a little bit long-winded, and this is a perfect fit for taking care of that.
It's great pizza.
Welcome back to the Middle Creek Coaches Show. This is the Sports Block, live from Ruckus Pizza in Cary. We are now joined by head baseball coach Wes King. Coach, thank you for joining us here tonight.
No problem. This is fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. Yeah.
If you could start off by telling us a little bit about yourself and about the baseball team this year.
Wesley King. I've been at North Buncombe High School the previous 4 years, and saw this opportunity in the summer, and wanted to get down to an area like this where baseball was really prevalent, and you have a lot of kids in a big area, a big city, and a great school. So, that's why I'm here, and Our team's been working hard right now. We're in our skill development series, our weight training. We're big on strength, and we're getting better. So.
Well, not only being a new coach, but you also inherited a team that is defending a title. How do you prepare a team that has expectations from the previous year?
Well, it's a tough conference. First off, baseball, everybody in the conference has a good team and good players. When they won it in 2012, I mean they were really good, and they had a really good team last year. And you just try to fight it off by just getting better every day and working hard, and the kids have really been buying into our processes that we're bringing to the table. Coach Thompson's an awesome coach, an awesome man, and he's laid a great foundation, and we hope that we can continue to build on what he's left and continue to put ourselves in the mix every year and get better.
So can you expand a little bit about what you guys are doing right now and kind of how that changes as you get more towards the season?
Well, we're right now in our skill development phase where we work in the weight room some, and we're also on the field with our outfielders one day, our infielders one day. Really big with our pitching coach Derek Shook, who I brought down with me from the mountains, who was at Providence High School in Charlotte. He's got 2 days a week usually that we have the kids working with him, and we just try to work on their fundamentals, and we're trying to improve their arm strength and put them in a spot where as they get towards the season we can maintain health and we can try to be a good team.
And could you just give us a few things of what to expect from this team?
We're going to play hard. I mean, they're going to play hard. They're going to be strong. Other than that, we expect them to go out and compete. That's expectation. We're going to put ourselves where we can compete for conference championships, and they will be in good shape, and they'll be fun to watch.
Well, when I saw that we were talking to a baseball man, I wanted to throw this question in there because it's been a lot, because it's all I've heard in the talk radio today. But can I just get your thoughts on Dodgers player Yusel Puig's premature celebration as he first of all, did you watch the game?
I didn't watch it. I saw the highlights.
But do you know what I'm talking about?
Right. Yeah.
Can you just give me your thoughts on that? Because people are up in arms.
He's an excitable player. I mean, he's young, and I think as he gets older and matures, I think he'll tone down a little bit. But those guys at that age, he's so young, and everything's so new, and he's excited. I think sometimes that comes out before he thinks, and I think as he goes through his career, he'll tone it down.
You let any of your players get away with that?
Oh no.
Well, Coach, thank you for your time. Once again, guys, you are watching the Middle Creek Coaches Show, broadcasting live from Ruckus Pizza. You're watching the Sports Block. We'll be right back.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate
It is a ruckus. It's a good time. We've got live music 4 or 5 nights a week. And
My favorite's the food, though. Our menu is very varied. We have great hamburgers, great pizza, great pasta, great sandwiches, great salads. We're famous for our New York style pizza. It's a huge 24-inch pizza with just right amount of cheese and sauce. And
all right, enough about the big pizza. Seriously, I sometimes still get a little bit long-winded, and this is a perfect fit for taking care of that.
It's great pizza.
Welcome back to the Middle Creek Coaches Show. This is the Sports Block live from Ruckus Pizza. And we are now joined by senior baseball player Tyler Sholar. Tyler, you are also a fellow Sports Block man, too. So you're okay in our book to start things off. But if
so far.
Yeah, so far. We'll see. If you could just start off by telling everyone a little bit about yourself, what position you play, and off the field as well.
All right, my name's Tyler Sholar. I'm a senior at Middle Creek. I play third base, and I caught a little bit throughout my career. I was a 2-time first-team all-conference selection, part of the 2012 state championship team. So we're part of a really, really good group of guys, and we look forward to this year.
Well, if you could just go through that experience of winning a title means so few people get to experience what you got to go through.
Well, I'm going to tell you, everybody, it's an experience like I've never experienced before. Just the excitement going through each game, had those close games against Millbrook and Fuquay, where he had those few pivotal moments, like the drop fly ball in right field against Fuquay and the overthrow at third base against Millbrook. Just those things, and then having everybody there at the game to cheer you on. It's just an unbelievable experience, and it capped that season for those seniors, and I'm so happy they got to experience that before they graduated.
Yeah.
So what things are you working on personally going into your last season at Middle Creek here?
Well, I'm working on getting better, stronger as a person and as a baseball player. Coach King's doing a great job with us so far this year. He's working as hard. I will tell you it's not easy, but it's really fun to just get out there and you see your potential. He pushes you every day, and that's just one of those things that helps you get better and will work to help you on later in life.
Well, what things does this team need to do to get to that level again that you got to last year?
We just need to keep pushing and working hard and come together as a team with a state championship run and stuff like that. That's one of those things that helped us get there, was that camaraderie that we all had, and we all trusted each other. And we just got to keep working and building as a team, and eventually we'll get there.
So do you have any plans for after graduation?
I'd love to play baseball, but I've also got to look for my future. And as of right now, I don't really have a future in baseball, so I'm just looking at school and getting a good 4-year degree and working later in life.
Cool. Well, as a fellow sports block man, you have to have a Petty moment or a Maldo moment. Do you have a favorite, or does one come to mind when I say that?
I mean, Petty's just Petty. I mean, there's no really word to describe him.
That's perfect, actually. Yeah.
He's a completely different character, but my favorite is when you do something like just over there. I hit the camera, and so he's pointing at me and just fix the camera, fix the camera, fix the camera. And so I mean, it's just one of those things that Petty's just himself, and he's a great guy, and I loved having him as a teacher and as a fellow sports block representative.
It's amazing how much he can communicate through pounds and
points, the eyes.
Right?
The eyes get it too.
Talking, exactly. Of course, of Mr. Wes Petty, who is one of the teacher advisors for the sports block, and also Luis Maldonado as well. So thank you for your time. You do basketball in the winter?
I believe I'm going to start this year doing basketball. Yes.
Okay.
Basketball's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Well, good luck. Make the sports block proud. Once again, guys, you are watching the Middle Creek Coach Show, broadcasting live from Ruckus Pizza. We'll be right back.
Thank you. Nice, man. Good job.
Ruckus. It's a good time. We've got live music 4 or 5 nights a week. And
my favorite's the food, though. Our menu is very varied. We have great hamburgers, great pizza, great pasta, great sandwiches, great salads. We're famous for our New York style pizza. It's a huge 24-inch pizza with just right amount of cheese and sauce. And
all right, enough about the big pizza. Seriously. I sometimes still get a little bit long-winded, and this is a perfect fit for taking care of that.
It's great pizza.
Welcome back to the Middle Creek Coaches Show. This is the Sports Block, live from Ruckus Pizza in Cary. And we are in the home stretch here, our final segment with head coach Mike Castellano. Coach, we are going into this Friday at home versus Holly Springs. They are 4-3. But 3-0 in the conference as well. So once again, on paper, this is a big game. I'm sure you don't even really have to explain that to the guys. They know, right?
Well, I hope they understand it's a big game. Every game's a big game. When you've had some success, which we had, that's kind of one of the games everybody's going to kind of write down and say, hey, we want to beat Middle Creek. But either way, it doesn't matter what somebody else does. It kind of matters what we do from the beginning of the game to the end of the game. But most importantly, what we do on Tuesday and Wednesday to prepare. And, you know, Holly Springs is a good football team. I've made no secrets about the teams I picked in our conference. I picked Holly Springs to win the conference, and I picked Green Hope and Panther Creek to finish second. I thought those were the next two best teams, and Fuquay right there behind them. I thought those were the best four in that order coming in from last year and returning players. Holly Springs is a well-coached football team.
Well, this team is 4-3, but they're also 3-0 in the conference. What do you think you can expect from this team when they step on the field on Friday?
Well, they give you tons of formations. Their offensive scheme is a very, very elaborate, good scheme with different formations and looks at pre-snap is not what actually happens after the ball is snapped. And that's something you have to discipline your kids to do right. Last year we didn't play very well defensive line-wise and at the linebacker position primarily. We're hoping this year we kind of clean it up a little bit and get a little better execution.
Well, we do have a question from Twitter. This was at Mr. First. It's the battle for first in the SWAC this Friday. Any strategies you can share for stopping the Holly Springs running back? 140 yards and 2 touchdowns a game.
Wow, I didn't realize they were that high. We're going to show up, and we're going to practice all week with a scheme we have in place, and hopefully it'll go well on Friday. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about that now, but hopefully next week we're sitting here in a positive attitude, hoping that we did a good job.
Patting each other on the back. We did a good job, guys.
Yeah. Well, we hope. Look, they're a scary team offensively, and we know that. We learned it firsthand last year. The most important thing is if we execute our assignments, we should be okay. I think we're a little more disciplined than we were last year. We feel a lot better about our players, understanding our scheme. But, again, they're a dangerous team, and that running back is a really good football player, but you appreciate this. They got a bunch of big, heavy OL that are good football players too. So, I thought we were going to get through the show without it.
I got to throw the fat joke out there. That was a buzzer beater.
But, no, they're a good football team. Offensively do a great job. Defensively, they're as pretty as you're going to see on film on defense as well. So Coach Orban over there, we actually coached against each other years ago when he was at Elon.
Right.
So, we go back a long ways, and I admire the work he's done over there, and it's going to be a tough game. And I hope we have a great crowd on Friday. We're happy to play only our third football game of the year at home.
Right.
So we're excited about that as well. And we have a great Creek Crazy section, great parents that come over. Coach West brings over, the middle school kids. So we're excited, and we hope that'll help us.
Well, Coach, good luck on Friday. Oh, go ahead.
I would like to add one thing. This is one of our best crowds of the year, so apparently people really enjoy baseball and Westlake. But
the winning formation.
The secret of this night was this is our undefeated night. Coach Calabria has joined and works firsthand as our OL coach for our JVs, undefeated. Middle school is undefeated for 2 straight years in football at Westlake.
Oh.
And Coach King is the only undefeated head coach at Middle Creek right now in baseball. So it's an undefeated night. So we're hoping that'll help us a little on Friday, too, carrying the momentum over.
Well, I hope the luck juices are flowing on Friday night for you, Coach. Guys, you are watching the Middle Creek Coaches Show, broadcasting live from Ruckus Pizza. You are watching the Sports Block. We'll see you next time.
You knew I was going to make that bad joke, didn't you?